Howdy, folks. Well, I was able to get hold of my motor guy. He was on vacation. So how about we go load my motor into the truck, because tomorrow morning it gets to go to Kelowna. Nice. And so it's going to be a bit of a boring video. We'll just load some, loading it, strapping it down stuff, figuring that out. And then we will do a little bit of video on the way there, a little bit in Kelowna. I don't think I'll take anything in the shop. Yeah, they probably don't want to be on video. Bike guys, right? So, yeah, let's figure this out and get this done. And it started. That's pretty impressive. It's been about 3 days since I started my truck, but you can see with the cold, because I think it was minus 17 this morning. Yeah, the battery doesn't like it. So, okay, as you can see, I'm in the truck, got the snow off of it, but good old, look at that. That's all on the inside of my windshield. Oh well. We don't have far to go. We're just gonna cruise around the back. This is why I plow, right? So I can get in here no problem. And then I always plow a little bit over here so I can pull in, so I can back in. Okay, hold on, go get the gate. Oh yeah, what do we got in here? Minus 12. Yep. Canada. So all this is. Hopefully that's close enough. Leave the truck running to get it warm. Sunshine sure is nice. But I guess I gotta get the quad out, eh? Make it easier to lift that motor up. This thing fired up right away. Green light, go, choke. So now the nice thing about this little HHR is everywhere in it, it comes with like these factory hold downs. They're on the sidewalls, they're in the floors. And what's cool too is this is a panel truck, so it doesn't have a back seat, but it even has the old latches where the seats would be. And if I want, which I probably will, it also has some in the forward cargo position right there. So yeah, as you can tell, this thing is solid in there. It's not moving anywhere. A little bit of wood forward and back to stop her from rocking back and forth, you know. Not that slamming on the brakes is gonna happen because it's all ice out there. So she'll just slide, but you know. So there we go. That's awesome. Well, like I said earlier, I really haven't done anything on her in the last couple of weeks, and we will get there. This motor won't be ready till probably May. I've already been warned because he's a busy shop, but we'll see. And then we'll go through and start cleaning this baby up. I mean, she's not like horribly dirty other than dusty, but you know, the shock area where the motor was sitting and everything like that, there's some cleanup and stuff like that to do. Maybe a couple little paint touch-ups with some white nail polish. I don't know, it's a bike. Maybe, we'll see. You know, the spark thrower thing there, we'll find out if that's gonna get replaced when he goes to dyno the bike. And I'd probably have to break the bike in first. And then shocks, yeah, just clean everything up. They should still be good. I'll check out the rubber seam on them, because like I said, it looks like there's rubber that's deteriorating there, but whether or not there actually has to be rubber there, I'll just check it out. I haven't dealt with this stuff in quite a while. And then the tranny. So back in the day, I polished the transmission by myself. I wasn't gonna pay for that because I think the motor cost me $2,500 or something like that at the time to have the motor done, but that's a little bit different with the fins. But this is all pretty open stuff, right? So when I had the transmission apart back in the day, when I had the frame powder coated, which was cheap, it was only like $100 to have the frame powder coated, but it really makes a difference on the custom look to the bike. The swing arm, man, I got ripped off on that one. That swing arm cost me, I think it was $1,900 to have it chromed. And that sucked because I think a couple months later I was in Trev Dealey Harley Davidson, and I think they were only selling for like $1,600 brand new. So I was pretty pissed off once I found that out. But that's the way it goes. You don't do your homework. But yeah, anyway, other than that, tranny shouldn't take much to clean up. That's what it looks like. That's where the motor mounts. Those are on the bottom there. You can see the tool dowels, 1/2-inch dowel, both sides that mount to the motor. So that was, yeah. But either way, you know, it's easy to pull the transmission out without pulling the swing arm and everything. Okay? So you don't, you know, like, well, you've seen it, right? I pulled the transmission without pulling the swing arm, so that just makes it a little bit easier. I mean, everything got loosened up and everything like that, but it's just less time consuming to not pull it. But all this will get cleaned up, you know. Got a little gravel quarry going on the back there, but that's pretty normal. And of course, yeah, when I put the bike back together, I'll clean everything up. And for those that are wondering, I don't know if I mentioned it, those are supposed to be 1952 Panhand emblems. I got those for $100 off eBay. And they're probably the coolest emblems that Harley made. Pretty cool emblems. Plus they already had the white in the Harley Davidson area there. So really really suited the bike. Okay, blades down. Doors coming down. Let's go to that side. Okay. Yeah. Let's see the windshield now. My use of a whacker handle. Just give her a spin. Mind you, it's winter time, so the gate kind of stays in place, so it doesn't even really need to be there. And we'll see, I'm supposed to bring my Samsung TV 55 inch. I think I've had it 14 years. It finally shit its pants. So I'm going to see if I can bring that with me to Kelowna. I already talked to a shop. Only issue is that I don't know if it's going to fit in the back here. I'll take a quick gander. I'll have to pull out the tape measure. This is such a tiny hatchback. I don't know if I got enough room height-wise to stand it up inside there. And then length. So we'll see. We shall see. I can figure that one out a little bit later. Sure is cold without gloves. Okay. Oh, Amazon. Okay, yeah, that worked out. Was really glad to get a hold of my motor guy. Took a lot of stress off me because I didn't really want to try to go find somebody else. And to be honest with you, it's been so long. And my buddy did pass away. So this is a new guy that bought the shop, but I kind of sort of know him, heard a lot of things about him. He's been doing this stuff for a long time. So good guy. Glad he got back to me, because the one thing I don't like doing is letting people touch my bike that I don't know. I don't care if they're a reputable shop and stuff like that, but I don't know anybody. All the old guys I used to ride with, you know, we don't really, you know, life gets in the way of it, right? Kids, all that stuff, marriage, all that stuff. So all the guys that are on the coast that have good reviews and stuff like that, I mean, the only people that are reviewing stuff is, oh, we put a set of pipes on, it's awesome, you know, change my mirrors, change my oil. I mean, anybody can do that shit, right? Like, that's not mechanical stuff. You know, I don't care if it's tire change, that's, you know, other than the machine, but getting a tire off and on, that's not real mechanical in my eyes. But when you start, you know, doing transmission rebuilds and motor rebuilds, well, that stuff's, you definitely want to know the right guy, right? Because if you don't have the right guy for a job like that, I mean, it's a lot of money to spend. I mean, these guys aren't cheap, right? Anybody that works on motorcycles, you know, they got, you know, decent shop rates. I mean, they take care of themselves, and the parts are not cheap. So to have somebody that's working on, you know, very mechanical aspect of your bike, like a motor transmission, even a clutch setup, to be honest with you, if these guys aren't 100% familiar with your setup, then yeah, it could cost you money. And then shops get bad reputations for, you know, missing something. I mean, it's just even the right torque on something can malfunction something inside the motor. So finding the right guy to do the right job is always very important. And, you know, don't go after these guys about cost. If you think you're going to get a rebuilt motor for a Harley Davidson for $2,000, you know, you're smoking crack is what you're doing. I mean, parts alone. I mean, pistons, you know, 10.5 to 1 compression pistons are in the $500-600 range just for 2 pistons, man. You know, Harley Davidson HD doesn't mean Harley Davidson, it means hundreds of dollars. There's nothing cheap. I don't think there's a thing I've ever purchased on my bike that was a bolt-on, like mirrors, anything, grips, that were $100. I mean, my mirrors on that bike, I spent $350 for 2 mirrors. The grips on that bike back in the day, because they were Arla Ness grips, before everybody else, Chinese started making the same ones, those were $350. You know, all my control pedals and the passenger pegs and stuff like that, the match set, the airfoils. Well, those were like 350 bucks. It was weird because when I went to do all the work on my bike, it's like everything I bought was 350 bucks. You know, I did luck out because I replaced that front end. That front end's originally a deuce front end instead of the standard, but this one's all billet aluminum, all chrome. And I got that right from Harley Davidson. That was only $1,800. So that was kind of nice. Because it was a whole front end. But anyway, like I was saying, you know, when it comes to the guys, like there's guys that seem to have reputable shops down on the coast, and I've looked at their reviews and stuff, but nobody mentions anything about motors. And of course, when you call a shop like that, you know, of course they're going to be like, you know, oh yeah, right? Well, I don't trust that. It's just like Harley Davidson. I would never take my motorcycle to Harley Davidson ever for anything, not a thing. I don't know what they're charging now in Canada. I mean, shit, 20 years ago, I'm pretty sure it was 120 bucks an hour. So I'm sure those guys are up there with like GM and Ford and Dodge and all that crap with like $150, $180 an hour. But I'd never go to a dealership for stuff like that. I mean, I've already had a guy that I met that, you know, worked at a dealership for 25 years and he offered to do my motor. And it's like, well, have you ever taken a twin cam B apart? And he's like, no, it's just a motor. Well, that's not exactly the kind of attitude and stuff I want to hear. You know what I mean? I want a guy that's actually pulled these things apart. If you've never seen the balance system in them, then yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand, you know, coming from an aviation, I used to be a jet engine mechanic back in the day, component tech, everything that ran the jet engine. And I understand what it's like to get something new and inspect it. But the books are a lot different in aviation. I mean, so I do understand somebody's mechanical ability, but I don't know, it's my stuff. It just took me basically 4 days to pull a motor out of my bike. And I mean, my time is free. But, you know, with the parts that go in it, time and effort and stuff like that, I just want it done right. That's all, you know, like anything else. I don't care what things cost as long as I'm not getting ripped off. I don't care what things cost. I just want things done right. I don't want to be bringing my bike back in a year going, what the, you know? And I'm pretty sure my guy's the guy, right? He's straight up solid guy. So, and he doesn't know about these videos. So anyway, like I said, tomorrow I'll do a little bit of footage on do some driving and stuff like that. It's a 2.5 hour drive to Kelowna. My brother's coming with me. He needs to do some business in Kelowna. I don't know if I'm gonna get my TV in that truck, and I don't want to lay it flat on the roof rack because it's a flat screen, right? So that's not a good thing to do. But anyway, I doubt I'll get any video inside the shop. You know, they like their privacy, and I'm cool with that. All good with that. And we'll just go from there. So cheers, peace out, and get warm. Have a good one. Howdy, folks. Okay, so some update. When I started shooting that video, I was planning on shooting, or this video, I was planning on shooting the drive all the way to Kelowna and stuff like that, and rolling up to the bike shop's door and all that. But the phone that I use to record all this stuff, I can't really mount it in my truck. It's not set up for that. I'll fix that one of these days. But until then, I didn't record any of that. So, but it's all good. So yeah, my engine guy got back to me. So just about 2 weeks ago, I dropped the motor off, and he's the kind of guy that does stuff on his own time. It's all good. But I think like a week later, he called me back and he's like, yeah, got your quote, figured it all out. So what was wrong with my bike was I was telling you, it was probably the chain tensioner for the balance system. It actually wasn't. It was the Ford weight. One of the bearings let go and disintegrated. A lot of the stuff did not go through my motor. So yeah, so all we're looking at right now is some bearings set up. He's going to replace all the tensioners. Yeah, we're gonna re-ring the bike. The cylinders are perfect. We're gonna replace the oil pump, my lifters, some of the bearings in the motor. He's gonna reseat all the valves. He's like pretty impressed about the fact that my cams aren't worn out. They have about 95,000 K on them, something like that. So he's pretty happy about that. I'm happy about it. So that's all being worked on. I mean, I'll still get the motor. I think I asked by May, so a couple months anyway before I get the motor back. And it's all going to be good. So really, really, really happy about that. Motor's coming in on budget. I still have all my high compression pistons and everything like that in it. So it's all good. I'm just happy that it's not like catastrophic failure. And I'll let you know when I hear some more news. So peace, peace, peace out and cheers. Are you having a meltdown? Peers and cheese out, right? And it's not even a drinking night, so peace and cheers out. Okay, yeah, that was wrong too. And look, she's gonna die. What is it? You said. Obviously.
Cheers. Peace out.
Cheers and peace out.